All right, so looking ahead at this upcoming season, chat is very much still in line to compete for a championship. I am on that playoff bubble still. I made it last year as the 7th seed, got pooped on by the Bulls. You guys know what that's like. As we take a look at the Timberwolves roster, you still have Paul and Ty Lawson. Could argue maybe Ty Lawson's making a bit too much money, but technically you have the team together. Shooting guard is Thompson and Ellis with a veteran Quentin Richardson. At forward, Danny Granger and a couple of filler players. Power forwards, Kevin Love with filler players, including Johnny Higgins, who, I mean, yeah, you guys are just going to want to put in the G League. And then at center, Hal Lyles and Mason Plumlee. You're pretty much good to go. I mean, there are certain trade offers. You could wait to see what happens. But for the most part, I mean, technically you're cap compliant right now. You can go for it yet again. And if you look, I mean, an 8-man bench, Harry Bremer, a bald man. It still runs Klay Thompson at forward. So it's Paul, Ellis, Thompson, Love, and Lyles, Lawson, Granger, Plumlee off the bench in the regular season. I mean, you guys look good to go. You know, especially because your coach is still smart enough to put Klay at forward instead of as the 6th man with Granger being the starter. So, you're still favorites to win a title in my books with a roster like that. So, it is true that Thompson could have been bad because he's playing out of his position. That is true. Honestly, if you wanted, you could just say it's Paul and Love on the block and then see what else pops up. You know? There's a lot that you could do in terms of how you want to leave the trading block open for the season. So try to come to a consensus if you can manage. For my Cavaliers, I mean, oh shit, we got Nate Robinson. Let's fucking go. All right, Linwood Vaughn, who I have at center. Jesus Christ, my center depth right now is insane. I'm going to put Linwood Vaughn down on the Canton charge. God, it's fucking awesome. It signed me Nate Robinson. I can't guarantee that Nate can play. I'm looking at having to run like an 11-man bench right now to fully get everyone playing that I want. Gasol and Leonard certainly work out well together. Drummond not being a starter is a problem. Capella being the 3rd big man is a problem. My best solution is to probably drop Marcus Smart down, but I can't. I'm only allowed to drop one player to the G League, so it's got to be Vaughn. Smart should be your point guard. He should be, but it's up to our coaches. I'm not allowed to manually put him at point guard, unfortunately. But given all 3 of my shooting guards can play point guard, I imagine they play a decent amount. I am able to make sure that Nate Robinson's not in, though, because he doesn't have to be. So, honestly, I'm good with this for the moment. I need to look to make some moves anyway. So for me, on the block, I got to move on from at least one of these guards. At least one of them. And then moving on from a big man is also not the worst idea in the world. Can't trade Pau Gasol until about January. But I can have Drummond and Capella on the block. I'm also going to put CJ McCollum, Marcus Smart on the block. And honestly, JJ Hickson, I'm going to keep for the moment until I get a better power forward. I am going to put my 1st round pick on the block as well, because I would imagine I'm going to be a playoff team this year. So Kawhi there. All right. Well, based off what I'm seeing in chat, there's a lot of, hey, who the hell knows? So for your sake, you might as well put your 1st on the block, leave those 2 as untouchable, and then just see what the hell offers you get. That's what I'm seeing. at this stage is to just leave it open. I know Crash made a poll here. I feel like both's going to win out. It already has the majority of the votes. We're leaving it open. We're just leaving it open and seeing what the hell happens at this stage. And we're moving on. So we'll see what happens, what offers you get that might tempt you. And we will see how this season pans out for the two of us. If I had to guess, continue to call me a jinx if you will. This is our final season. As you guys do get a trade for Monta Ellis, Nick Young, who is actually a year older, and then Johnny Higgins for Doug McDermott. McDermott's only a C potential. I mean, technically you stay just as good at guard and then get a better depth option than Doug McDermott. But, yeah. It's funny. It's literally just an improvement on the already established positions. Anybody want to seriously throw it out to a vote, or are we moving on? Seeing a lot of no's so far. All right, it's overwhelming. Moving on. Nice, interesting offer. So you guys kicked the shit out of me. Well, there's your forward. Monta Ellis and a second-round pick for Josh Smith. Same amount of money, extra year on his contract, same age. Same age, same amount of money, extra year on his contract. Gets Klay Thompson back to his natural shooting guard position. You have Smith at small forward. That is exactly what you guys were asking for. And looks like that's going through. Monta Ellis on his way to Atlanta, along with a second-round pick in 2019 for Josh Smith. Worked out really well for you on that front. So, yeah, now you look at the lineup. You do have an injury to Kevin Love right now, but Paul, Thompson, Smith, Love, and Lyles, when fully healthy, is not a bad way to go. And hopefully for you guys, Klay Thompson plays a little bit better in his natural position. We'll see what happens. Hell of a start to the season, that's for sure. Hell of a start to the season. 8-1, telling you. You guys got this in the fucking bag. You had bad luck last year running into D-Rose, but you guys got this particular era in the bag. You made the most of Kevin Love and didn't overthink it. Josh Smith for Manu Ginobili. I'll decline that for you. Wow, you just kicked the shit out of the Pelicans. You guys are putting up over 100 points a night, basically. Couple off nights here and there, but you guys are absolutely destroying worlds. And you beat the Thunder, too. One of the few teams that could actually stop you. Still couldn't beat the Bulls. I don't know why they continue to be your kryptonite. Ty Lawson and Higgins for Jordan Farmar and Josh Childress. So you'd move on from Johnny Higgins, who was a bit of a disappointment. You'd get slightly worse at point guard while saving a bunch of money. And then you bring in Josh Childress as a depth shooting guard that honestly you could use. That should be a yes. I'm being completely honest with you. That should be a yes. If you're going to decline it, that's fine. That should be a yes. Farmar's not significantly worse. He's cheaper, and you get a backup shooting guard that's better than fucking 34-year-old Quentin Richardson. Lawson's our sixth man. He literally isn't. Or doesn't have to be. But, all right. Chat's going to decline it. I don't think that's a very smart decision, but what do I know? You're one injury away from Klay Thompson being out and not having someone to back him up this year. So, I saw enough no's. God, why is it always centers? CJ McCollum and Robert Covington for Daniel Tice and Isaiah Thomas. I mean, I wouldn't mind getting Isaiah Thomas at point guard, but I do not need another center. I need another center like I need a hole in the head. Drummond's hurt right now. Yeah, it just doesn't make sense for me based on the positions. I'd love to get rid of McCollum, but it doesn't make sense. Keep the team as it is. The Cavaliers doing okay as well. We're at least over 500 with an extended bench. I imagine you guys are going to decline that. You don't need Thomas as your third point guard. Tice is a downgrade on Lyles. So based on what you've told me previously, we can easily decline it. No worries there. All right, almost through December. Dude, we need a center. Cool. Milwaukee with a really interesting offer for us here in Cleveland. Andre Drummond and a second for Draymond Green and a first-round pick in 2015 that's lottery protected, so likely a 2016. Again, I have Drummond at center, but I signed Pau Gasol and drafted Clint Capella. And Draymond is that upgrade at power forward that I needed over Hickson. I don't have the best feeling about trading Andre Drummond, but it was going to be between him and Capella at some point anyway. Gasol fits in for now. Capella's there to replace him eventually with that A- potential. Draymond's got a B+ at 24, 81 overall. I'm probably taking this. I like Andre Drummond a lot, but I got the upgrade from Pau Gasol. Andre Drummond and a second-round pick in 2019 for Draymond Green and a first. That is a done deal. That is a pretty wild trade, but it is done. I'm going to put Campazzo on my untouchables list. Victor Oladipo is day-to-day. Oladipo, McCollum, Smart, all on the block. Got Kawhi as an untouchable. Honestly, Reggie Bullock can be an untouchable because I like the depth. At power forward, Vaughn's not very happy. At power forward, I'm not against trading J.J. Hickson or Robert Covington at this stage. Move Draymond to the untouchables and Pau Gasol to the untouchables. Only injury right now is Oladipo. Do still have the extended bench. Bullock's not getting much playing time right now, but that is okay. Our teams are in some very interesting spots. 24-7 for Chat's Timberwolves. You're very much going to be pushing for that top seed in the Western Conference. You've been the 2 seed in the last 2 postseason runs, so you beat the Raptors there as well. Yeah, won't be trading Pau Gasol. I was actually just about to put Pau Gasol on the trade block, and then the Drummond trade came up for me. So about a month out. Month out from the deadline. Crash, there's nothing you can do with Lyles right now. Even if you put him on the block, it doesn't guarantee that there's more trades. Calm down. How's Lyles? He's fine. Just like he was before. A high 70s, low 80s center who's not going to get that much better. Damn. Victor Oladipo for Marcus Morris, which would certainly improve the backup I have for Kawhi. and Bino Udrih, who would certainly help as a backup point guard. And I'd get rid of Linwood Vaughn. Oh, Oladipo hasn't really improved that much compared to last season. Yeah, his progression's not looking great. His point per game average for me is down this year, at least so far. It makes me stronger in case Kawhi goes down, makes me stronger. And actually, Bino would be my starting point guard. And that would leave McCollum and Smart at shooting guard. I'm going to take that. I'm going to take that as well. Victor Oladipo and Linwood Vaughn, the reigning Rookie of the Year, is on his way to Brooklyn for Marcus Morris Sr. and Bino Udrih. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I am wheeling and dealing. All of a sudden, adding Bino Udrih and Draymond Green. Covington, Bullock. You can honestly run a 12 right now. Keep people in check. On the block for me. I gotta keep redoing it based on these fucking trades that are happening. So at point guard, Udrih and Campazzo. So that's pretty much good to go. Shooting guards, McCollum and Smart. Reggie Bullock can go on the block now. Power forward, Hickson and Covington. One of them can still go. And nobody to move at center. Hold on, M-Dog. Now I potentially have 3 first-round picks this year as well, thanks to that deal with the Bucks. I'm going to add my own first-round pick to the block. The Bucks, it's a 2-star. Let me see how the Bucks and the Grizzlies are doing really quickly. And also, here, let me put up the old dick punch. Nope. Well, nope. You can deal with that one then. I forgot about that one. That's amazing. All right, now we wait to see if the dog barks to go outside. And we'll take it from there. So, I'm going to take that foolishness off. There we go. Fun fact, I already forgot whose fucking picks I was checking. Milwaukee and Memphis. Milwaukee and Memphis. The Bucks are terrible, which is good. Very good. Grizzlies, borderline team. That Bucks pick next year could end up being pretty good. Let's add that Grizzlies pick. All right, then the Untouchables. Kawhi, Gasol, Capella, Draymond. We'll leave it at that. A lot of changes here in Cleveland, as I'm doing my best to push this team into contention, honestly, as soon as possible, because I do think you guys are right fucking there. This is an interesting one. McCollum and Reggie Bullock for Jarvis Giles. He's a random 26-year-old. A- potential. What the fuck? 79 overall. McCollum's only got a B, 77 at 23. Giles is better, a couple years older. And then Reggie Bullock as a depth option. It would bring in Wally Bledsoe behind him. I don't really need Wally Bledsoe. I'm going to decline that. I trust in McCollum and Smart to hopefully be able to hold things down at the shooting guard position. My fucking profits have dropped down too, but a UDFA challenge will work. Be possible, but not likely. Decent trade offer if I didn't already have a point guard. I am going to decline that as well. Worth noting here, again, we're about a month out from the deadline. I mean, you guys still have your first round pick on the block. You got Lyles and Plumlee at center. I mean, there's not really too much for you guys to put on the block right now in terms of improving the team. Unless you just wanted to be like, oh, Lyles and Plumlee, go on the block, to just be like, oh, try to trade one of them to improve someone else. You can put your future first rounders on the block to try and entice people a little bit more. But that's about it. That's about the most you can do, is just be like, hey, we're trying to win right now. Give us good people. So that's about the most you can do. It's just be like, hey, future first round picks for sale. You're selling, we're buying. Let's go. It's about the most you can do. Boy, both of our teams are hemorrhaging money. Like an absurd amount of money. It's not worth it for me at all. Yeah, Pazzo's worth more than that. Second choice point guard. He's worth way more than that. Red means good, yeah. Yeah. Red means stop. You're doing too well. Randy Bullock for a dude named Leroy Hardy. Hardy's not terrible. Could move Bullock out now that I have Marcus Morris. That would allow me to put both Bino and Campazzo on the block and have Hardy as my second choice. Although that wouldn't do much. Pau Gasol's out 2 to 4 weeks. I don't want to have to potentially move another player here. Unless it's just the big deal. For you guys, Josh Smith from Mike Conley. Not worth it for you at all. Not worth it at all. Another deal for Lyles, but it's for a point guard. It's the last thing that you need right now. We are closing in on the deadline. McCollum and Covington for Bogdan Bogdanovic and Jarrett Jack. Just doesn't fit what I need right now. Just doesn't fit. Yeah. Not what I need right now. Oh boy, wow, we're only 5 games over. I gotta shorten the bench. McCollum and Nate Robinson for Trevor Ariza and Super Nintendo Chalmers. And Ariza's a little bit better at 29. Chalmers would be a better option now. I mean, it technically improves the team immediately. Although CJ McCollum, you expect to get better. Got to keep McCollum as a scorer. Got to do it. Yeah, deadline's a bit earlier this year, too, February 5th. Worth noting, by the way, the upcoming contract extensions, J.J. Hickson's leaving, so it's a good thing I brought in Draymond. But yeah, J.J. plans on leaving my team. For you guys, Paul and Love are both willing to re-sign right now. They each have a year left. So if you wanted to do what you could to keep both of them, you could. Obviously, it'd probably be worth prioritizing Kevin Love a little bit more based on what he's done. So, what do you guys think? There is a looking for option, but it's specific players, not general positions. So, any disagreement? Re-sign both, but target Kevin Love first. Any disagreement on that thought? Going once. Going twice. All right. Kevin Love first. That 4-year deal. I mean, you can drop the money decent amount. Like 18 and a quarter. There you go. Kevin Love will be back. Chris Paul. 19 and a half. There you go. Love and Paul locked in. 2 big boy contracts. So, certainly got your star players, but sooner rather than late, I mean, honestly, not even. I mean, Clay is going to need a deal, but like Smith is locked in. Lawson's locked in. You guys aren't doing that bad. Put Granger on the block. You don't have time. At this point, just because he's not on the block doesn't mean you couldn't get offers for him. You just haven't gotten an offer for him all season. So, both teams are bleeding money with how we've wheeled and dealed and brought in moves to improve the team. McCollum for a first and Tiago's splitter. And I do not need a center. Teams love offering me centers, but no, I'll be keeping CJ McCollum. Cavaliers not quite doing as well as I was hoping at this stage. We're going to get past the deadline. We're locked in. We are locked in. No injured players right now. Yeah, I need to shorten the bench at this point. Need to get guys like Kawhi out there a little bit more. It's actually starting J.J. Hickson over Draymond right now, but that's not the worst thing in the world. Yeah, I can't factor in Covington and Bullock right now. Unfortunately. For you guys at this stage, still got an 8-man bench. It's the best thing for you. Just keep trucking along. Just keep trucking along. Wheels I haven't, but I mean, I imagine somewhere down the line. All right, so the context, by the way. I found out there's a PWHL player with my same last name, which is a bit surprising because it's not a common last name. Her family's from Thunder Bay, though, is what I discovered on Elite Prospects.
Just trying to walk through this grass.
Shout out to Venom for the follow, by the way. Appreciate it. Welcome in. There probably is a relation at some point, just because it's like, well, should I have a French last name? We're based in New England. People came over from France. I mean, splintered out. So, I mean, you go back far enough, there might be, but at least not direct. So, again, the extension deadline, nothing we have to do. Timberwolves look like they're going to easily win 60 games. You guys might push for fucking 70 at this point. So, well, yeah, I mean, Reaver, that's the point, right? Is I don't know how far back you'd have to go, but, you know. Yeah, this Timberwolves team. Told you guys, I mean, I thought it would be last year. You guys choked. It's just, as long as you don't run into the fucking Chicago Bulls, who you can't seem to beat still. You got this in the bag. Absolutely in the bag. Goodness. It's going to be 70 wins, man. Well, no, it's going to be just short. Maybe. Oh my God, you keep winning. Whew. Yeah, just short. 69, 69, and 13. The Minnesota Timberwolves with Kevin Love winning league MVP. This is the year. You finally won one, chat. Good on you. Good on you. This is the year. Nikola Jokic wins Rookie of the Year in Toronto. What a fucking season. Sixth Man of the Year, Jokic. He won Sixth Man of the Year and Rookie of the Year. That's insane. Defensive Player of the Year, Dwight Howard again. No real surprise. Most Improved, Sacramento's Kemba Walker. Coach of the Year goes to your coach in Minnesota, Sans Eyebrows. You also had the GM of the Year, apparently. First team All-NBA, D-Wade, John Wall, Kevin Love, LeBron James, and DeAndre Jordan. All defensive team is Howard, James, Duncan, Wade, and Rajon Rondo. And your all-rookie team is Jokic, Embiid, Levine, Robert Fox, and Andy Moore. The first seed Timberwolves will take on the Portland Trail Blazers, while my Cavaliers made the playoffs as the 5th seed in the East. They'll take on the Indiana Pacers in round number 1. We're both in it, but one team is certainly a little bit more favored than the other.